What's up guys, this is Steve for Android at Night, and today I'm going to run you through my top 10 apps for Android 2015. First on this list is AC Display. This is a lock screen app which will turn your phone on when you take it out of your pocket automatically. It will also light up the screen when you get a notification and will allow you to click on that notification to get some details about it. This kind of mirrors the stuff we've seen on Motorola's phones with the sort of Moto Active display and some of the stuff that's built into the Nexus 6P. Next up we've got Alarmy. This is my favourite alarm app by far, simply because you can make it very, very difficult to turn off. So for example, to turn this alarm off, I have to take a picture, and I have to take a picture of a specific place which is actually just down there. This obviously gets you out of bed in the morning and you have to focus a little bit to actually turn the alarm off. You can also make it so you have to shake it a certain number of times or solve a maths problem or go and scan a QR code. So you can stick a QR code on your mirror, and in the morning to turn your alarm off you have to get out of bed and then scan it with your phone. As well as that, it's a pretty standard alarm app. You can make alarms repeat on different days, so you can have different setups for the week and different ones for the weekend. Next up we have Month, which is a calendar widget that is pretty much as powerful as calendar widgets can be. It's basically a fully featured app that lives on your home screen. So you can see here you get a nice full month display, and you can see the little dots correspond to the events that you have. So you can tap on something like today and you can see what you've got on. You can then also swipe through and you get these really nice pleasing cards, and you can go ahead and hit this button here and you can add stuff using whichever calendar you want that you have installed on your phone. You can also tap on the month up top and you'll get a nice display which will show you the entire year, and you can scroll across here and you can quickly jump from month to month. There are also a bunch of different themes you can choose from, so there's a couple of real nice sort of minimal ones, and then there's a sort of more material style one, then another sort of slightly different coloured material one. This is my personal favourite at the moment. It's kind of a Google Now themed one with all the different locations for different months. And then there's a couple of others here with different colours. And if all those themes aren't enough, you can go ahead and pay for some more as well. There are ads, but they're very unintrusive, and the only time I've really noticed them is when I've been messing around changing the theme. But once you've set the widget and forgotten about it, you basically don't notice them. And this has basically replaced my need to use a calendar app. I pretty much use just Google Calendar now to actually set the events, and then I use Month to actually run through and see what I've got on and when I'm doing stuff when. Next up on this list is actually a live wallpaper, and it's going to be Paperland Pro. This is the wallpaper I've got going at the moment. It's super customizable, so you can edit all the little details you can see on your background, but if like me you're a little bit lazier, you can go into the theme manager and choose all the different ones. So for example, we can try New Year's Eve, as New Year is coming up, and you can see there you get like fireworks and stuff, and you can change all these little elements to have lights in the trees or rain or snow or weather, and you can make it automatically update based on the time of day and based on the weather around you. It just works really nicely with the majority of icon packs that I use. It's got a real sort of like nice matte cutout effect. I think it's a very, very stylish, good looking live wallpaper. Next up we have PocketCasts, which is my favourite podcast manager for Android. I listen to a lot of these when I'm walking around or travelling, and I think what really defines this as a podcast app is the interface is just very nice, very satisfying and easy to use. And there's a couple of real cool things, like you can sign in so you can sync these across devices. You can download them so you can listen to them if you haven't got any data, so you can download them on Wi-Fi and then listen to them on the train. As well as the interface being really nice, the Discover section is really easy to use as well. It's a real nice way to find stuff to listen to, so you can just type in something you're interested in. So let's say Android, because we all have Android, and it will pull up all the podcasts about Android that you can subscribe to. And the thing that this does better than a lot of other podcast apps I've used is it remembers where you are. Quite a few I've used, if you pause them and then exit the app, you come back, say, the next day, and it's lost your place. This is perfect. It will sync across devices, so you can pause listening to it on one phone, then you can go and listen to it on your tablet. There is also a web player as well that you do have to pay for, but if you listen to a lot of podcasts, I think it's well worth it. Next up we have Chrome Remote Desktop, and this is an app I've talked about in the past quite a few times, but I think it's very, very powerful and I use it a lot, almost on a daily basis. This will let you control your laptop using your phone. So if you've left your laptop behind, you can use this to log in. You can then access documents and stuff. You can look at files. You can just use your laptop as you would if you were in front of it. It's really useful also to use as a remote, so I plug my laptop into my TV and use it to watch Netflix or YouTube and stuff, and this allows me to control it from there. Next up we have Solid Explorer, and this is one of the sort of slightly less sexy apps, but it's just my favourite file manager for Android, and everyone needs sort of a vaguely decent file manager. It's got all the stuff you'd expect. It's got a root explorer if you're rooted. You can scroll through everything you want. You can unzip things, all the stuff you'd expect from a file manager. But then it's also got a couple of other cool tricks. One of the cool things this lets you do is plug into the cloud. So for example, I've got it set up so my Drive account is synced with the app. So it means you can view everything in your Drive. You can copy stuff across to your phone storage and vice versa. It also has a really cool 2-panel thing. So you can see here, this is my Google Drive. And if I scroll back here, I've got a videos tab. And if I open it again, I can decide what I want here. So if I want all my applications, so I can go ahead and see all my system apps. And then again, if I scroll over here, I've still got Google Drive loaded as well. And if you want to really utilize the 2-pane thing, you can flick it into portrait. You can put it into landscape orientation. And you can use both of these at once. There is a free version of this. You get a trial for a couple of weeks, and at the moment there's actually a sale. So if you are in the market for a File Explorer app, I would recommend going ahead and downloading this one. Next up, we have my favourite keyboard app of 2015, and this is SwiftKey. I like it for a couple of reasons. The main one is the predictive text, so it will learn everything you say, and you can plug it into all your different social media accounts and it will drag information from there as well. It's also got some pretty neat things as far as themes and settings go. So if you scroll across here, you can see you've got a bunch of different themes you can download. And if for some reason you can't find one that is to your taste, you can go ahead, have a look in the Play Store, and there are a bunch of other free and a couple of premium ones as well. It's also really easy to do stuff like resizing. You can mess around with the layout. You can even undock it if you want, so that you can have a floating keyboard, and you can drag it down to the bottom again to redock it. As well as normal typing, you can go ahead and do swiping as well, which I use a lot of the time if I'm typing with one hand. It's quite an easy way to do it. But if you're looking for a fully featured keyboard app, then SwiftKey is the one for me. Next up we have Twilight, and this is an app which you can set to activate during different times, or you can just activate it manually. And what this will do is it will cut down on the color temperature of your screen. This reduces the blue hues, which will give you slightly better sleep. So if you're using your phone or your laptop before bed, I really recommend you download something like this. I've got another one on my MacBook as well. The other thing I really like is it allows you to dim your screen sort of below the lowest amount. So this is on minimal brightness, but I can go ahead and dim the screen even more. This is really useful if you're in bed and you don't want to wake someone up who's next to you, or if you need to conserve battery life or something like that. It just gives you a little bit more extra power. Next up we have Spotify. This is still my favourite music streaming service. And I feel like I'm becoming a bit of a broken record with this. I recommend this pretty much every year. You can go ahead and use it as a remote, so you can play on different devices if you've got them logged into Spotify. You can sync with Facebook. It means you can see other people's playlists. You can share playlists. You can collaborate on them as well. I am going to be doing a video in the new year on a couple of other different music streaming services, just to see if there's anything out there which I think is as good. But at the moment, Spotify is my favourite. And finally we have Fenix. This is my favourite Twitter client for Android of the year. It's really nice and simple. The UI is really pleasing. You can go ahead and tap up here to jump straight to the top of your newsfeed if you've got any unread messages. You have your timeline here. You can scroll across to go to your mentions. Scroll across again to see when people have favorited your tweets. And if you scroll across once more, you go to your private messages. As you can see, there's real nice material design. You can press the button at the bottom here, and this will give you the panel to enter a new message. And when you open a tweet, you've got all the options to reply, to retweet it, to favorite it. You've also got the overflow menu. This will allow you to share links and stuff within tweets. One of the things I really like about it is if you open up a tweet, you can scroll down here and you can see everyone's reply to it. You can get sort of a feel for the conversation going on. So if you are looking for a Twitter app, I can highly recommend Fenix. I hope you enjoyed that, guys. Let me know in the comments below what your favourite apps of the year are. I know I will definitely missed out a couple of good ones. It's very difficult to cram them all into 10 if you're doing a top 10 list. But if you've enjoyed this video, please go ahead and like it. Please subscribe if you haven't seen me before. You can follow me on all my social media things with the links in the description. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.